up, internet? It's November and it's a beautiful day outside, but I got a crazy announcement to make. As you can probably tell from the title of this video, I am officially a 2025 Born Free 16 invited builder. Damn! First things first, massive shout out to Grant and Mike for giving me the awesome opportunity to be a part of the show. And I am going to bring my A game 100%. And this is obviously going to be the first video of a bunch of videos that I make about this build, but let's get into it. First things first, I'm going to show you what I'm doing. Well, naturally, every build starts with a good story, so as one usually does, I was scrolling along Facebook Marketplace, and I came across this fully built chopper that the gentleman standing to my left, Robert, had assembled, and I just shot him a DM, and I was like, yo, dude, what are the odds you would sell me just the motor and the frame? And he thought about it for a little bit, then I talked to him over the phone, we chit-chatted about what exactly it would be for, and then he said, yeah, all right, let's do it. So he's up in Albany, and I'm here in the Philly area, so I grabbed Natalie, and we took a little weekend getaway up to Albany, and I went and got to pick up this frame and motor from Robert. So the motor is a generator shovelhead motor. It's stroked out to 80 inches, and we'll talk about that more when I make the video specifically for the motor. But the frame is obviously a later model shovelhead frame that was hardtailed by either Mike from 47 Industries or Fab Kevin, one of those two dudes. Either way, whoever did it, one of those guys, they did a phenomenal job. And there's a bunch of things that I'm going to change on it, so that's what the rest of this video is going to be about. What's up, internet? So this is my Born Free frame. I'm going to change it up a lot. So aside from just cutting off the fat bob mounts and some other stuff like the big tank mounts and stuff, I'm going to window the neck. I'm going to cut off these fat bob mounts and mold this so it looks all nice and tidy. I'm going to make my own oil bags. So we're going to cut off these oil bag mounts. I'm going to cut off this coil mount here. I'm going to do something else with the coil. And get rid of all these other tabs and stuff. And then come over here, I'll show you this. This is one of the later model shovelhead frames. So we're going to cut all this out and make this seat area look a little bit nice and tidy with some different type of posts in there. And yeah, that's the frame. First up on the docket of to-dos with this frame is probably one of the most challenging tasks. I'm going to be windowing the neck here. It's going to look really wicked when I finish, but you know, it's a process. Basically what I'm going to do and how I'm going to do it is I'm going to start with just drilling some holes here all along there and then boring them out big enough so I can get this carbide burr so I can start the carb. Just get a big chunk of it out and then work on shaping it around the casket. So I'm still working on windowing the neck here. As you can see, I'm getting it all cleaned out. I'm using this air tool here and this carbide burr attachment, but I'm also starting to figure out how I'm going to lay out the molding for the rear section of the frame. I just cut this piece out of cardboard here and then spray painted it black so I can get a good feel. But the idea is that I kind of wanted it to look like the backbone was all straight, and so I think it's accomplishing that pretty well, and I really like the way that that's going to look. So yeah, just got one of the front fins mocked up there. I think it looks pretty cool. It's nice and subtle, nothing too crazy, but just tasteful. Now I'm gonna use the Sawzall here to cut off thank you, the top of the fat bob mount here, so Sawzall. Doing a cut here. Doing a cut. Did a cut. So as you can see, the way I've been attacking this is just windowing this. It was the same deal, just drilling a series of holes, stepping them out a little bit, and then getting to a point where I can cut it out with the Sawzall, and then get a big chunk so I can shape it with all the carbide burrs. The good view now here, see how it's shaping up in there. Obviously have a lot more final metal work to do to get it to look really nice and tidy. But yeah, I like the way it's coming together. Alright, here's what the next section looks like, all taken down. Obviously I still have to smooth it out and such, but it's windowed and it looks good. What do you think? Yeah. The other thing that I'm going to do to this frame is I'm going to cut out these panels here and replace them with some reminiscent of other like original casting pieces. It just looks really ugly there in my opinion. It's a later shovelhead hardtail frame, so yeah. I'm also going to chopperize the axle plates, smooth them out a little bit, do that nice little whoop-de-whoop there that you see sometimes, and then, yeah, really start metal finishing the frame. Another thing I'm going to do is extend this cast outfit plate out a little bit so it matches the shape of the way that I cut this one exactly. And the way I'm going to do that is just literally cut it as close as I can to the same shape, and then take some metal and just kind of build it up here on the side so it looks exactly like that and it looks symmetrical. Alright, I've got the extension welded onto the cast axle plate here all the way around. Now I'm just going to take an 80 grit flapper disc and try to get it as close as I can to that one. Alright, so here's an update for you. The frame looks a little different, as you can see. I just got it back from sandblasting and I added some stuff. So to save you some more footage of me cutting and grinding, here it is with the fins already on there. They're just tacked on, but getting the vibe of how they're gonna look. I really enjoy the way that it kind of just looks like a 70s comic style rocket ship or whatever, but yeah, so the neck is windowed, the fat bob mounts are all tidied up. The only thing I do have to do is, since I cut all this plating out of here, I've got to create new dikes for the frame rails here that support the seat rails. And other than that, I'm going to take down this section a little bit so the seat sits a little more flush with the angle there, and then just keep putting along. Also, I just started grinding it smooth a little bit, and ignore all this chunky stuff there. I still have to go over and fix that, but this is basically what we're looking like here for the new gusset and the seat tube. It's kind of my play on a traditional casting, you know, just some extra added support there. And yeah, it looks a lot better than the ugly, disgusting plating did. So that knocks out that section. On to the next. Well, time for a little bit of shop maintenance. I'm not sure if you guys have noticed, but in the past few clips, it's been a little bit cluttered over here. So took the day yesterday, I got everything nice and tidied up. Got all my stuff pretty well collated now. And I'm gonna be selling some junk that I've got over here. And see anything that you might want, obviously, except for the motor. All the important looking stuff, shoot me at the end and I might consider selling it to you. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way my space looks over here. Speaking of my space, I got a new TIG welder. Well, not a new TIG welder, new to me TIG welder. And it also came with this wicked awesome cart that's also a welding table that also has the spaces for oxyacetylene torch. So I'm super stoked to get into this new setup and use it for the rest of my build. I'd say that does it for this video. Next video is going to be about me building this oil tank from scratch, all at a 16 gauge.